Welcome back to another episode of Scholastic IQ, the game where knowledge rules. I'm your host Ethan Neer, and we have another great show in store for you tonight with two more great teams. So let's go ahead and introduce them. On the bottom we have Matter Day with Garrett, Keegan, Kaylee, and Owen, and up top we have Edwards County with Adriel, Braden, Jason, and Isaiah. Now before we get into the game, let's just do a quick recap of our rules. We'll start out with some toss-up questions. Those are worth 10 points. If a team gets it right, they move on to a bonus question, which is worth 20 and can be stolen for 10. You guys are allowed to interrupt me at any time, but if you interrupt me and get a question wrong, it is 5 points for the other team. So just get all the questions right. We got no problems, right? If everybody's ready, let's get into the questions. What chemical element is bonded to itself in hydrazine, forms a triple bond with carbon in cyanide, and is bonded to Garrett?
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen is correct. Well done. For your bonus, C.H. Waddington coined what term for the study of changes in gene expression that do not involve alterations to the nucleotide sequence of DNA?
Mutation.
That's incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer we're looking for there was epigenetics. Epigenetics. The next toss-up. In 2022, what team, led by infielder Alex Boehm, pitcher Aaron Nola, and outfielder Bryce Harper, lost to the Houston Garrett?
The Phillies.
Philadelphia Phillies is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what law named for a Minnesota congressman was passed in 1919 over Woodrow Wilson's veto to enforce prohibition in the U.S.?
No answer.
Edwards County, chance to steal here.
No answer.
The answer looking for there was the Volstead Act. The Volstead Act. For your next question, what country, whose General Omar Torrijos signed a treaty with Jimmy Carter in 1977, was led by Manuel Noriega and is the site of a 50-mile canal? Garrett.
Panama.
Panama is correct. For your bonus, what Jesuit priest described his poetic style as having sprung rhythm and wrote about a dapple dawn-drawn falcon in his poem, The Windover? So you guys are all out of time. Edwards County, chance to steal.
Longfellow.
That's incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Gerard Manley Hopkins. Gerard Manley Hopkins. For your next question, what European country contains the western parts of Lake Skadar, has its capital at Podgorica, and has a name that translates as Garrett?
Montenegro.
Montenegro is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Ben Platt won a Best Actor Tony for playing the title character of what Broadway musical that features the song Anybody Have a Map?
Dear Evan Hansen.
Dear Evan Hansen is correct. Well done. For your next question, what phenomenon names a connection sung by Kermit in the Muppet movie and is the sign of Jason?
Rainbow.
Rainbow is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what California congressman who led the first impeachment of Donald Trump was censored by House Republicans in 2023 and is running for Senate?
No answer.
Matter Day, chance to steal.
McCarthy.
That's incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff. For your next toss-up, what Spaniard gave the name Espiritu Santo to South Tampa Bay and used chains of translators on a 1540s expedition that reached the Mississippi River? Braden.
Ferdinand Hernandez.
That's incorrect. There's a lot of time. The answer looking for was Hernando de Soto. Hernando de Soto. For your next toss-up, what author who wrote about the imprisonment of author Paul Sheldon by his fan Annie Wilkes in Misery depicted a telekinetic teenage girl in Carrie? Braden.
Smith.
That's incorrect. Garrett.
Stephen King.
Stephen King is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Italian artist made a wooden sculpture of a penitent Mary Magdalene and depicted a youthful nude in his bronze sculpture, David?
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci is incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
Leonardo.
That's incorrect. It was actually one of the other Ninja Turtles, Donatello. Donatello. Your next toss-up. What time signature, which was used by Maurice Ravel for Bolero, has an odd number of beats per measure and is used in the Blue Danube Waltz? Garrett.
3/4.
3/4 is correct. For your bonus, Eleanor of Aquitaine married what English king who quarreled with Thomas Becket?
Stephen.
That's incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
Henry.
We need more than just Henry.
Second.
Henry II is correct. Well done, Braden. All right, on to our next toss-up. What country where 2023 protests opposed the abolition of reasonableness judicial clause by the Knesset is led by Benjamin Netanyahu?
Israel.
Israel is correct. Well done. For your bonus, the Abu Dhabi House and Tropical Gardens is a landmark on what island, which is home to the southernmost city in the continental United States?
Key West.
Key West is correct. Well done. On your next toss-up, what mode of heat transfer is slower in high R value materials like fiberglass and occurs by direct contact, unlike Owen?
Convection.
Convection is incorrect. I will repeat the question for you, Edwards. What mode of heat transfer is slower in high R value materials like fiberglass and occurs by direct contact, unlike convection or radiation? Braden.
Conduction.
Conduction is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 2023, Netflix invented an improved form of green screen technology that utilizes what color of light that is complementary to green?
Blue.
That's incorrect. Matter Day, chance to steal.
Red.
Red is incorrect. The answer looking for was magenta. Magenta. For your next toss-up, what event in which Betty Paris accused the enslaved woman Tituba of consulting spirits led to the executions in colonial Massachusetts in Jason?
Salem witch trials?
That is correct. Well done. For your bonus, from 1941 to 1944, Nazi forces unsuccessfully besieged a Soviet city then known by what name in what became the deadliest battle in history?
Leningrad.
Leningrad is correct. Well done. For your next toss-up, what painter of Reading Le Figaro was an impressionist who created the boating party and the child's bath in France after she was born in the US? Keegan.
Cassatt.
Mary Cassatt is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Euripides, Seneca, and Jean Racine all wrote plays about what wife of Theseus who fell in love with her stepson, Hippolytus?
Antigone.
That is incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
Agamemnon.
That's incorrect. The answer looking for was Phaedra. Phaedra. For your next toss-up, the Bohr model proposes that what particles discovered in a cathode ray tube experiment by J.J. Jason?
Atoms?
That is incorrect. I will reread the question for you, Matter Day. The Bohr model proposes that what particles discovered in a cathode ray tube experiment by J.J. Thomson move in circular orbits around the nucleus? Kaylee.
Electrons.
Electrons is correct. For your bonus, what phenomena, which are emitted during mergers of two neutron stars or black holes, are ripples in space-time that were detected by LIGO in 2015?
Wormholes.
That's incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
Black holes.
That's incorrect. The answer looking for was gravitational waves. We have had to stop down the show real quick as one of the players from Matter Day has been disqualified, but we are going to continue the show just as a 3 against 4. So, all right, if everybody's ready, we'll take it back to the questions. What drug, also known as a semaglutide, was released in 2012 by Novo Nordisk and is a diabetes medicine more recently used to treat obesity? Kaylee.
Ozempic.
Ozempic is correct, well done. For your bonus, what American woman whose books of poetry include The Triumph of Achilles won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2020?
Angela.
That's incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
Anthony.
That's incorrect. The answer you're looking for was Louise Glick. Louise Glick. For your next toss-up, what longest ruling Chinese dynasty in history, whose rule ended with the Warring States period in the 3rd century BC, was succeeded by the Qin dynasty? Owen.
Han.
Han is incorrect. Jason.
Ming.
Ming is incorrect. The answer you're looking for was the Zhou dynasty. Zhou dynasty. Next question. What body of water which contains Franz Josef Land, Svalbard, and Canada's Ellesmere Island is the world's smallest ocean and also the northernmost? Owen.
Arctic.
The Arctic is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 2022, what son of a former dictator succeeded Rodrigo Duterte as president of the Philippines?
No answer.
Edwards County, chance to steal.
I refer to Adriel.
Bong Marcos.
That is correct. Well done. For your next toss-up, what quantity, which for water is 4.18 joules per gram Kelvin, is the energy needed to raise the temperature of a gram of a material by 1 degree? Keegan.
Specific heat.
That is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what weak acid, the key ingredient in vinegar, has the molecular formula CH3COOH?
Acetic acid.
Acetic acid is correct. Well done. For the next toss-up, what author collected a series of 28 prose poems in a book about a wise man from the city of Orphalese named Al-Mustafa, his best-selling The Prophet? So out of time, the answer we're looking for was Khalil Gibran. Khalil Gibran. For the next question, what state, which has a region called the Western Reserve that was once claimed by Connecticut, is to the south of Lake Erie and contains Cleveland? Keegan.
Ohio.
Ohio is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in a 2019 film, Renee Zellweger portrayed what earlier actress who played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz?
Judy Garland.
Judy Garland is correct. Well done. And that'll take us to our lightning. The way our lightning round works is each team will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can about a certain topic. Now, Edwards County, since you guys are trailing in this one, you get the first pick of the litter. Your choices are missing words in poems, African leaders, world mountains, or Illinois companies.
World mountains.
World mountains it is. All right. Name the country that contains these mountains. 60 seconds on the clock. I will count you down. 3, 2, 1. Mount Fuji.
Japan.
Mount Olympus.
Greece.
Mount Kailas, which lies within Tibet.
China.
Mount Elbrus. You can pass as well.
Pass.
Mount Etna.
Sicily.
That's incorrect. Mount Cook, which is called Aoraki in the Maori language.
Pass.
Mount Ararat.
Pass.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Fiji.
That's incorrect. Chimborazo.
Pass.
Mount Kushoko.
Russia.
That's incorrect. Mount Elbrus.
Russia.
That's correct. Mount Cook, which is called the Mount Aoraki in the Maori language.
New Zealand.
That's correct. Mount Ararat. And you guys are all out of time, so let's go through the ones that you missed. Mount Etna is in Italy. Mount Ararat is in Turkey. Mount Kilimanjaro is in Tanzania. Chimborazo is in Ecuador. And Mount Kushoko is in Australia. All right, Matter Day, it is now your guys' turn. Your choices are Illinois companies, missing words in poems, and African leaders.
Illinois companies.
Illinois companies it is. All right, name these companies headquartered in Illinois. 60 seconds on the clock. I will count you down. 3, 2, 1. Fast food chain that sells Big Macs.
McDonald's.
Insurance company that is like a good neighbor.
State Farm.
World's third largest airline after Delta and American.
Southwest.
That's incorrect. Pharmacy chain whose logo is a red W.
Walgreens.
Food company whose brand include Oscar Mayer and Ore-Ida.
Heinz.
Agricultural machinery manufacturer known for green tractors.
John Deere.
Retail company co-founded by Alva Roebuck that published a 532-page catalog in 1895.
Farmer's Almanac.
That's incorrect. Hotel chain owned by the Pritzker family.
Hilton.
That's incorrect. Subsidiary of Lenovo that released the foldable Razr smartphone.
Pass.
Food delivery service acquired by Just Eat Takeaway in 2021.
Grubhub.
Subsidiary of Lenovo that released the foldable Razr smartphone. That's the last question we have left. So all out of time there, so we will go through the ones that you missed. The world's third largest airline after Delta and American is the United Airlines. The retail company co-founded by Alva Roebuck that published a 532-page catalog in 1895 is Sears. The hotel chain owned by the Pritzker family is the Hyatt Hotels. And the subsidiary of Lenovo that released the foldable Razr smartphone is Motorola. All right, now let's take a look at our scores after the lightning round. We have Edwards County with 125 to Matter Day's 270. So still plenty of time left in the second half for both you guys. All right, we'll take it back to the toss-ups. What state which has a region called, oh no, we did the wrong thing. That distracted me, I'm not gonna lie. What natural phenomenon whose most recent iteration began in June 2023, according to NOAA, is caused by Pacific warming and differs from La Nina? Braden.
El Nino.
El Nino is correct, well done. For your bonus, Tsar Alexander III gave his wife the first of what series of jeweled eggs made by a Russian designer?
I refer to Isaiah.
Nesting dolls.
That's incorrect. Matter Day, chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer we're looking for was the Fabergé eggs. The Fabergé eggs. Your next toss-up. What novel, which includes a former English professor named Faber, centers on a fireman named Guy Montag, who... Jason.
Fahrenheit 451.
That is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, pencil and paper ready. What is the minimum possible degree of the sum of a third degree polynomial and a second degree polynomial? You guys are all out of time. Matter Day, chance to steal.
6.
6 is incorrect. The answer looking for was degree 3, or third degree. Back to the toss-ups. What quantity, the second moment of a probability distribution, is denoted by a sigma squared and equals the square of the standard deviation? Braden.
Mean.
That's incorrect. Keegan.
Median.
That's incorrect. The answer looking for there was variance. Variance. For Next question. What devices have bases sized by E numbers, employ tungsten filaments, have types such as CFL and incandescent, and were pioneered? Keegan.
Light bulbs.
Light bulbs is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what jazz band leader who led a January 1938 concert at Carnegie Hall was a clarinetist who was nicknamed the King of Swing?
Armstrong.
That's incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer looking for there was Benny Goodman. Benny Goodman. The next toss up. What place which suffered through the starving time was founded in 1607 in Virginia as the first permanent English settlement in America? Owen.
Jamestown.
Jamestown is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what country was led by Suharto's dictatorial New Order government after he overthrew its founding father, Sukarno?
Germany.
That's incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
I refer to Adriel.
Indonesia.
Indonesia is correct. Well done. The next toss up. What class of animals that includes caecilians is named after members' ability to undergo metamorphosis from underwater forms to air-breathing ones? Keegan.
Amphibians.
Amphibians is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in April 2023, Santiago Peña, a member of the Colorado Party, was elected president of what landlocked South American country?
Bolivia.
That's incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
Paraguay.
Paraguay is correct. Well done. Your next toss-up. Tyler 1 is a streamer of what game which features champions such as Annie and Jason?
League of Legends.
League of Legends is correct. For your bonus, if two concentric circles have different radii, then at how many points do the circles intersect?
No answer.
Matter day, chance to steal.
0.
0 is correct. Well done. For your next question, what river is crossed by the Allenby Bridge near Jericho, empties into the Dead Sea, and shares its own?
Jordan.
Jordan River is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what 1867 poem by Matthew Arnold describes an eternal note of sadness heard in the crashing waves of the English Channel?
No answer.
No answer. Edwards County, chance to steal.
I refer to Jason.
Dover Beach.
The Dover Beach is correct. Well done. Next question. What structures derived from megakaryocytes are held in place by a fibrin mesh during clotting and are cell fragments found in the bloodstream? Those are all out of time. The answer looking for there was platelets. Platelets. Next question. What European king commissioned the Sanssouci Palace, invaded Silesia to start the War of Austrian Succession, and was a great king of Prussia? Jason.
Frederick.
Frederick the Great is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what female upholsterer based in Philadelphia is often credited with sewing the first American flag?
Betsy Ross.
Betsy Ross is correct. Well done. On to the next question. What novel in which the vicious dog Bullseye is owned by burglar Bill Sykes is named for a workhouse orphan and was written by Charles Dickens? Keegan.
Oliver Twist.
Oliver Twist is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what author described petals on a wet back blow in his Imagist poem In a Station of the Metro, which is only 2 lines long?
The subway.
That's incorrect. Edwards County, chance to steal.
No answer.
The answer looking for there was Ezra Pound. Ezra Pound. And that bell means we are all out of time on today's show. For our lovely contestants here today and the people working hard behind the camera, I'm Ethan Neer. Thank you so much, and good night.